Welcome to Non-Fungible Guys. This is a podcast about blockchain, NFT, cryptocurrency, and everything in between. Basically, it's a Web3 podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Devon C. Codrington. I'm joined here today by my trusty co-host, bro host with the most bald head you've ever seen in your life.
Beautiful face. You forgot that part.
Oh, beautiful face. Great smile. Actually, great voice, too. One of my friends actually said you had a sexy voice. And,
nice.
He is single, so. You know.
Awesome.
Anyways,
what up?
sorry.
I'm NFT Ryan, everyone. How's it going?
Whoa. Okay, if this is the first time you're joining us, I think that was one of our best intros. Usually we butcher them, but that's not what's important. What's important is that we've got an awesome guest here today. We got Fettuccine. You know what? I didn't even ask our guests how I wanted to introduce them. So, they're going to introduce themselves. Fettuccine, what is going on? Thank you so much for coming on the pod. Those that know you are just as excited as we are. Tell the people who you are.
Yo, what's up? Thank you, Devon, and thank you, Ryan, for having me on. What did I say? You have a face for radio.
Oh shit!
That's
starting
awesome.
off with a banger.
All right.
I'm Fettuccine. I've been in the space I've been crypto forever, but the Cardano NFT space for about 2 years now. I'm the founder of Angel Baby Hit Squad and Demon Hit Squad. And then co-founder of a few other pretty cool developments that are coming soon on Cardano. But yeah, I'm just happy to be here. I'm excited to have this conversation with you guys.
Nice.
That's awesome.
We do have I'm glad you mentioned some other stuff that you're involved in. We do want to get to that later. Actually, you know what, Ryan? How about you do our shout out first?
Oh, you shout out? Okay.
Yeah, and then I'll ask question one.
Let's give a shout out to Showtime for kind of setting up. He's like, how have you guys not had Fettuccine? He's like, I'm messaging Fettuccine right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to get him on the podcast. So Showtime, thank you very much for setting this up.
Yeah, fully agree. Without him, I would not have reached out. Ryan would not have reached out. This is all Showtime. What up, man? Okay, let's go with question one. I think you're gonna like this one.
It's a hard hitting question.
Yeah, like we're not gonna really hold back. How do you spell fettuccine? I'm not joking. I don't know. Like
it's very funny because I'll meet people and they'll be like, "Oh, you're Fettuccine," and I'm like, "No, it's not that. It's Fettuccine." But it's spelled Fettuccine. So it's double T double C.
Okay. Next question.
It's the pasta.
Yeah, I just call you the pasta man.
Gonna be honest, I have said that before. I was like, okay, so why fettuccine?
That was I actually I forget when it was. It was a long time ago, maybe like 2014, 2013. I had my Instagram username as just my first name dot my last name. And I was like, this is so boring. And I knew I was getting into the marketing field. And I knew I wanted to become something brandable. So it was kind of creating like this username that would stick in people's minds. And I came up with Fettuccine Al Fuego, like on fire. Alfredo. And then that just stuck. Like people started calling me Fettuccine. And then when I came to Cardano NFTs, my Twitter handle was just my full name because I never really used Twitter. But then eventually I was like, let me get a cohesive social profile. So now pretty much on everything I'm Fettuccine. But it just came because I thought it was funny one day.
I like it.
Fair enough. I usually hear the name. Oh, it was my gamer tag in high school, and I just stuck with it or some silliness like that. But no, I like it.
It makes me think of rap music.
Rap music. Why?
I don't know. Like, I just think of I just feel like, okay, so Action Bronson. He's always talking about food and stuff when he raps. I just feel like Action Bronson, I think he actually has a song when he talks about like fettuccine and like with the lobster and the shrimp, and he's always talking about food. And then when they're talking about money, they're always talking about like cheddar and like chips and Skrilla cheese.
Right.
It's like it makes me think of like
it's surprising how many times I've heard fettuccine in a rap song.
Right?
And
they talk about it all the time.
You got Fetty Wap too. There's a lot of things. And anytime somebody walks through a grocery store, they have to be reminded of me.
Yeah. Wow.
That's nice.
That's hard hitting there.
That was heavy. Yeah, he's like, soccer moms get it too, Devon. Don't even worry. Okay. I hope you like the podcast. All right. Okay. Let's ask something for
There's
real.
so much to get to. Like, where do
I
you
know.
wanna? You want to
I
just jump right into Angel Baby, or what do you want to do, Devon? Where do you
if
want
you
to take it?
if you really want to know what I want to do, I want to talk about the thread. But
Okay, let's do
yeah.
it.
Okay. So when was this? Was this yesterday?
Okay, so last night I just happened to be on, I guess, as you were doing your thread on Twitter last night, and I was like, "Oh, I'm like, this is perfect." I'm like, "Let's bring it out." So I sent it to Devon. Of course, Devon doesn't necessarily read things right away, but he did read it, and I guess it touched Devon's soul. What do you want to talk about, Devon? What about the thread touched you?
Well, there's a lot in it, man. And like, first of all, like, okay, so the thread, like, how do you have? I have like actual questions, and I was like, those are whatever. Those. So this makes me think that, like, and correct us if I'm wrong. That makes me think that this is near and dear to your heart because of all the shit that you're doing. And I think we're going backwards here because users are probably, or listeners are probably like, what's he doing? But like, is that because of everything that you're doing and like web 2 cross chain? It's basically your thread is a response to be like, no, bro, like everything I'm doing right now is like why that's not what we can do. And just for basic context, maybe you should give the context, but like it was in response to someone talking about having projects like rest on their laurels and just be like, yo, it is what it is. Let's like almost like the way I was kind of thinking about it is like almost like archiving the project, to make it like a thing. And we'll kind of regale it to historical instance, and it'll live on the blockchain forever. And that means something. And, you trying to create the sentiment in the space that it's okay. You put your thing out there. It was awesome. And it's great. And you kind of like went back with a thread that was basically like, nah, there's a bunch of reasons why that's not what we're doing. And is it art? Did you make it to be historical? Did you make it to be a project? Is it a social NFT project? And if it's not I think the only one that can really be that is maybe art, and historical has to be based on, maybe like you mentioned, like CryptoPunks, right? Like the first 10K collection or whatnot, they automatically. So unless you're doing something historical that's like really, really out there and recognizable, you can't even claim that. The kind of community has to give that to you. So like, tell us about your thread and why, like, tell us why you wrote that.
Yeah. So, I mean, it really ties back to my upbringing and my family. And
Right.
my family is all entrepreneurs. I mean, my mother's a dentist, but aside from that, we're all entrepreneurs.
Dentists are kind of like the entrepreneurs of the doctors. Like they have to build their dentistry and like hire the hygienists and everything. And the hygienists are always hot. So yeah, I get it. No, it's good.
Yeah, she has her own practice and everything, so
Right.
she does well. But so I was raised on this hustle mentality, this grind, where when you create something that becomes your baby, and you're going to build that up to flourish and become an adult, and either you put on to another family when it's sustaining, or it's self-sustaining enough to live on its own. And I think that it's a broader conversation, that it's super destructive for this space, because people create projects just so willy-nilly. They don't put any consideration into it. They just see it as an opportunity to make money, and they don't realize that the way that these get funded are by the consumer, by the standard collector putting money in to support you. And if you're not willing to kind of put it all out on the line and fight to the end for your collection, then you are doing wrong by every single person who put $1 into you, unless you have the distinction of what I was talking about, art, historical, or if you're just playing a game and you make it very obvious it's a game of the social NFT. Otherwise, you have to be very aware that you are creating a business, and a business, when you're an entrepreneur in the Web 2 world, you don't give up. You'll scrap with $0. You'll come up with whatever way out of whatever situation you find yourself in to make your business survive, because it is your baby and you want to make it thrive and love it and create it into something special. And what I read before was a tweet thread saying, like, when is it okay for a project to just say, look, listen, I've done enough, like I can't do any more. And if you're creating a business, if you're creating a project for the sake of it being a project, there is no point you could do it until you've exhausted all your finances, until you've exhausted every single opportunity. And then what I said is you could lay down your sword honorably because you did everything you could. It's just a business at that point, and you could start the next one. And I would support option two for your chance to do it again with the experience that you learned from the first go. But the people who create a project and they just give up because first iteration number one doesn't work, that pissed me off. And the fact that a collector wanted to propagate this idea that it's okay, I think it was a product of a bear market where 90% of his wallet ended up being rug. So why not the remaining 10%? Why don't the remaining 10% rug too? So that way every project has to rest on its laurels, and then probably the ones that have rugged, he'll start to do better. The art might have been a little bit better than art now, so it'll go up in value. They might have created something cool a year ago, so it'll go up in value. So he would want the purveying message to be everyone give up. Let it go, which is such a sad, cynical view of the space. It really is a destructive way to see things, and that's what I ended the tweet thread with. It's like if you ever feel this way, take a break, like sell some NFTs. You're clearly overinvested.
Yeah, good point. Actually, at the beginning too, you mentioned it was from a collector, and that even struck me because when like thinking about it, I was like, I feel like this is what. And Ryan and I have actually seen this. There's like the pre-rug signs, and sometimes definitely. Like what are some of them we've seen? We've seen people, and I don't like what I'm about to say. I don't want to let anyone think that I'm diminishing this or making light of it. But and Ryan knows exactly what I'm saying. One of the things that a lot of people will cite is like mental health break. And I'm not saying that that's not a real thing. It is totally. But unfortunately, we're not going to say any instances where we can, speak on this. But like we've seen this with specific individuals in the past where they kind of just disappeared for whatever reason. Yep. And, then when they reappear, they're like, oh, mental health break. And then they proceed to rug in the next 3 weeks. What other signs have we seen?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just a broader kind of bullshit argument. If you're truly running your business, you don't see a CEO of a Web2 company making an announcement and say, "Oh, I'm going on a mental health break for a month." Yeah. If you're creating a project and you're putting yourself in a position to be kind of controlling the direction and finances of 3,000, 4,000 people, you've made the decision previously that you don't get to go on a mental health break. Sure, you could take a weekend off, but not 2 months.
No, I agree. And let's face it, they're dealing with a fair amount of cryptocurrency too that people have viewed like when they bought into the project, and like it's ridiculous. Like I think that's the lack of accountability outside of the community makes people just want to like slink away. So why do you think this is happening? Like, do you think this is like? Do you think? Okay, I know the collector kind of said that, but like do you think this is because you said like at the bottom, which I thought was really good, like if you're burnt out, step away from it for a bit. So like do you think this is a burnout kind of deal?
Well, that thread was more targeted towards collectors at the end, but the body of it was more targeted towards founders and making that decision of when you're creating a project, you should make that distinction of whether it's one of those 4 categories, and if it's not, then what's the purpose of making it? And you're ultimately going to rug if it doesn't have that intrinsic underlying value. I think it is a product of burnout. I think that when the bull run is going on, you could throw shit at the wall and everything's gonna stick. Like you're gonna 10x on the stupidest project ever, and then you're not really learning. You're not making investment theses when you're investing into a specific project, and then you try to continue doing what you learned in the bull market, and you get burned, and you get burned, and you get burned again in the bear market, because projects that did release, they're not previous business owners. They're not people who have gone through the struggle of starting a business from zero and building it to 100, and recognizing the importance of being frugal and budgeting correctly and not overextending yourselves. I mean, just with ABHS and DHS, we have a probably a 6-month runway, even in the bear market, because I know how to structure a business and I know how to plan it in a way that we've already sustained about 6 months, 8 months of a bear market, and we could do another 6 months with 0 more sales because I've done it properly. And unfortunately, for these projects, creators who have never run a business before, they're just in the dark and wandering, and I'll put $25,000 into this, I'll put $10,000 into this, I'll put $60,000 into a booth at a crypto conference, and that money goes quickly. That money goes quickly, and then when you drain the company account to 0 and you pay your developer and your artist and everything, what do you do if you don't have that hustler mindset? If you don't know how to restructure, if you don't know how to adjust, you don't know how to iterate and come up with something profitable. I mean, we're working on like 4 or 5 different alternate revenue streams outside of royalties and NFT sales, just to continue keeping our business afloat, because it's a business, and that's what people need to recognize.
Damn. That's for
That's
sure.
awesome.
And I feel like that's the main thing, is like 80% of they don't look at it as a business. It's just like 2 guys, 3 guys, a group of people that want to, let's do an NFT project, and then no one has the setup, right?
Right. And with that mindset, you're gonna burn. I mean, it really, I mean, I don't know how it doesn't weigh on their conscience.
Yeah.
It'll burn thousands of people, and they'll just do it again, because they're like, oh, we'll just create another profile, we'll get new art, we'll do it again because we just made $50,000, $100,000, whatever it may be, because they're not putting it back in. But the problem really, it lies in the collectors laps. Like, they're not the ones paying attention. Why are you throwing your hard-earned money at these random projects that have no track record, when there are super established projects that deserve it and have shown what they've done over the past year and change? I would much rather invest money in a company that has survived a year, with a well-known team, with a well-known track record, than throw money at something that just popped up 3 weeks ago and you don't know who the founders are, and you don't know whatever else about it. Like, why is
but the art looks cool.
A sounder? Yeah, but the art looks cool. I could Fiverr cool art for you right now and create a project. Like, I could do it, but I know that if I'm spending my time with ABHS and DHS, this is where my heart is, and this is where I want to focus my time.
What's funny too is now we actually have the data and the track record to, do your research on, especially in Cardano. I mean, we're what, a year and 8 months or something now old. So, I mean, there is a track record with some of these NFT projects. So you can't, I mean, it's hard when new ones keep popping up, and it's just like everyone gets FOMO and wants to jump in on the hype and all that stuff. But you're not wrong. It's like, take a look, take your time and do your research.
DYOR.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So you mentioned like a couple of things, and I'm like, I want to go in all these different directions now. I want to ask. Well, you kind of already mentioned it. Let's keep on going there. How do you combat burnout? And you can come at that from a perspective of collector or from the founder. What other? I know you mentioned some in the thread, but just like implicitly stating it from whatever perspective.
Yeah,
because that's real. Like Ryan,
I've gone through it a couple of times, and I just kind of take a weekend off or for myself, and then it's just like stay off Discord, do whatever. But
I think I'm like, something might be wrong with me, where I'm like, instead of getting burnt out in a way that like I need to take time away, I just get really angry at things, like even more angry at things that I normally wouldn't, like particularly about the space. It never affects my real life outside of the space, but like I'll get more upset at collectors who are investing in the next rug pull, or I'll get more upset at like a project that hasn't done anything for their holders in like 4 months. So then I'll write like a 20 tweet thread about
Yes.
it.
So more
Just
threads, more
just
threads.
like yeah, exactly. So that's the only thing that comes out of me, but I've seen it so many times, and things that I mean, I think because of the way that I've experienced my life before. I've created businesses in the past. I've helped develop businesses to get to different levels. So then it was a natural evolution for me to come into Web3. And some things that I do just in my daily life, I make sure I get a full night of sleep. I make sure that I'm meditating 20, 30 minutes a day. I make sure like I don't even, when I go to sleep, I don't even set an alarm in the morning. I want to wake up naturally, and
That's amazing.
and
I'm so jealous of that.
yeah.
So you don't have kids fettuccine.
I don't. And that was in the way that I was running in the Web2 world too. I worked my way up from in the marketing world through a few different industries and a few different businesses to eventually become CMO of a payment processing company in New York City. And I operated on my schedule, and I operated on a higher level than most people. And I worked my way to where I was at a young age because I respected my time, I respected my body, I respected my mind, and I really respected other people, and I treated them with extreme respect. And I think that that's just the way that I like to operate through the world. And when I'm giving that out, I usually receive it, and it makes it a lot easier to operate in this way. So I think that burnout happens when it's exacerbated when you might not be operating in the best way, whether that's intentional or not. You might be overspending in a certain area, and that'll eat away at you, and things like that.
That makes sense, and I resonate with that wholeheartedly. In like my day life, I run on flex time, and I feel I kind of run on flex time all the time. Ryan's probably like,
dude, you're like, it's like a nomad. It's like you're everywhere. You're doing whatever. I got 3 kids. I'm like, I'm always busy, but it's like I can call you at any point. And you're somewhere in this country, city, whatever.
But more so, it's like I can't like always wake up like Fettuccine can, like where I'm just like, when I wake up, and the world's gonna accept me. But I do try. I'm trying to like do that as much as possible. So we'll see. Okay, that's cool. I was thinking right now we could shift to so like I don't even know if it's still pinned, but like a week ago. Was it a week ago, Ryan? You're the one. Yeah, like a week ago, you pinned
the branding thing.
Yeah, like, and in my notes, I have.
No, it was the recap. His 2022
it was the
recap and his developments for 2020.
Yeah, he pinned that, and then I was like, in my notes, I wrote bold pin. Like, and I was like, yo, this is like, this guy's like out here. Like, this is why he's like a rapper. He's just like, look at me. No, okay.
My favorite part about that was like, it's such a small detail of it, but the fact that I did a strike through ABHS on the second one.
Yeah. Yo, so okay. I read it, obviously. We both read it and we were like, whoa, what? Like, what? There's a lot here. I actually said to Ryan, I was like, this could be like the whole podcast just talking about this and asking these questions. So I hope you remember what you penned. I hope you remember this. So okay. Let's start at the top. You know what? Actually, before we even go this, people still don't even know what your project is. Like, maybe we should just go there. Like, like we should start at friggin' basics. Like,
what is Angel Baby Hit Squad, and then go into what they've done in development.
Yeah, let's start with that.
It is funny because like I feel like I could go on. I could do like a 12-hour podcast about my experiences over the past 2 years in this space. But yeah, I'll tell you about ABHS. So like I said, I've been in the Cardano NFT space for almost 2 years now. And this was back then, I mean, you think the Cardano NFT ecosystem is small, but back then it was like 100 times smaller. Sure. And there was a period where Space Buds, which were like #1 collection, was a 258 a floor, and Cardano Bits, which is like the only other viable Cardano collection was a 15 ADA floor, and I was looking over at Ethereum NFTs, and Bored Apes were going for 12, 13, 14 ETH, and I'm like, how do we get this? How do we get these collectors and this capital to touch our ecosystem? Because like I fell in love with Cardano NFTs when I first experienced them. This was pre smart contract, so anytime I wanted to buy and sell an NFT, I had to message people on Discord and argue with them and negotiate my way. It was like the best time in the world. That was my era. If you talk to people back then about negotiating with me and the way I would win auctions and things like that, it was definitely fun.
No one can understand that rush, of just like, and then you send the ADA out there, and you're like, I'll just fucking wait. Like,
sends it out to the ether.
You have to trust people that you can get it back. I mean, I would always tell people that they have to send first because I don't trust other people, but that was the way that I operated. So I realized, like, how do we get these collectors and capital from Ethereum over to Cardano into this ecosystem that I love? And I came up with, well, first I knew what the premise of the project I wanted to have was. It would be an Ethereum NFT with Cardano utility. And we would have this primary collection on the Ethereum blockchain where people could collect it just as any other Ethereum NFT. But if they wanted the utility, they would have to create a Cardano wallet, and we would kind of force their hand. They would have their foot in the door to get the utility, which would be through Cardano. And I partnered with 16 of the top artists and projects that at the time I really respected and wanted to expose these Ethereum collectors to their artwork. So just by holding the Ethereum NFT, they would get an airdrop in their Cardano wallet every single month. And we're still the first and only L1 to L1 cross-chain collaborative project where two different L1 systems are working together to do this. So that's super exciting. It's super exciting. So like to tap into my thread before, we have the historical. We're the first ever cross-chain ETH to ADA project. We're the first ever cross-chain project in general. We launched over a year ago. We're leaning into the artwork. I just hired an award-winning artist who's worked on major motion pictures, who's redoing the entire Angel collection. So we're gonna have the art, and then I'm running it like a proper business. So we're gonna have the project. We have the project. So I feel like we're running this the right way. But that's a background of Angel Baby Hit Squad, and then we have Demon Hit Squad on Cardano. So for every Angel that you minted on Ethereum, you got airdropped a whitelist token into your Cardano wallet, and then you could burn the whitelist token with ADA, and you get your Demon on Cardano. And there's a whole cross-chain war element.
Yep, sick.
Pretty sick.
Let's take something in for a second, just for people listening, thinking L1, like the L1 to L1 interaction. Like people talk about that a lot, they're like, oh, like how, cross-chain, so like you set that up in probably and this is what I think is really cool. And I don't want people to miss this, in a really cool way that like you just built it into your operating system because you knew you were in both spaces. And a lot of people are approaching it from a different way of like building something. Or look at what is it, the U gods or whatever, like Frank, like there's like, I'm moving from Solana over to wherever they're going or whatever. I hate
D-gods are moving to Ethereum, and
Frank is doing that. Frank is doing that, but we built the failsafe for ABHS a year and 2 months ago.
Exactly.
So if Ethereum ever died or there was a need to move from Ethereum, we could easily get everybody. We know everybody's Cardano address that are associated with their Ethereum.
Totally,
address.
exactly.
We'll port over that and have the collection running within 1 day on Cardano. We're the only other collection besides I guess DGOD now that has done that, and we're the only cross-chain project. And I mean, now everybody talks about cross-chain, but we did it 14 months ago.
The way you guys did it, so like, and that's perfect. That's the distinction I wanted to make, because it's like they're like, okay, we're moving, whatever. They don't have it built into their plan, their model. You know what I mean? And it's like And a lot of people are like, well, you can't do that. I think a lot of people were thinking about the mechanics or like how to program, and people are like, well, you need like, you need Polkadot, like whatever. But like, you just looked at it from a practical sense and we're like, build both, maintain them both as one company. And then we just cross chain with by basically database, wallet to wallet. And like, I think sometimes it just goes to show like overcomplicating it for and not thinking like kind of like far enough out. So just wanted to point out that L1 to L1 interaction, you made it like a very simple, elegant solution because it was built in from the beginning. And now people are like announcing huge things like, oh my gosh, this is happening. And it's like, bro, first of all, ask yourself this: why is he leaving Solana? They're not maintaining the cross chain, like leaving Solana because it's garbage. It's unstable.
Fuck Solana.
Okay, take it easy, Ryan.
Such trash over there. Anyways.
Okay. Let's get to the basics. What's like the collection size? It's like 11,000 or something for the angels and the demons.
Yes. So the angel quantity is 11,111 angels. And then for every angel minted, we airdrop a Demon Hit Squad whitelist token into your Cardano wallet. And that's a mint at your own pace collection. So you have 66 years to mint that.
What?
Yeah. So at any point, as long as you have the whitelist token, you're guaranteed that mint slot. And you could send the whitelist token and 166.6 ADA to the ADA handle hell, and you'll get back your demon.
That's amazing.
That's fun. Yeah, that's fun to see it happen over time, and it really respects a collector, because a lot of times people get caught up in these FOMO hype cycles and they get burned because something that's hot today is not going to be hot tomorrow. But this is a project, Demon Hit Squad, where you can watch how the project's doing, and you could decide after a year or 2 years that you want to join the project because we're creating something that you want to be a part of. So it's a very respectful mint, and it's just going at its own pace. So you could track over time to see how many whitelist tokens are out there, and that's diminishing over time.
That's pretty sick.
That is
sick. I like that timeline. That's good. Solid. The blockchain is forever.
Yeah. I want to even point out the fact that you've got your ADA handles, like some of the ADA handles you have is like, did you get them super early because you were just so deep into the space and you get like the forward thinking for the business? You're like, oh, I'm going to get hell. I'm going to get like even your digits, like the 2-digit handle. Like
that was, I mean, I'm very open that I collect on Ethereum and Solana, and I saw ENS becoming a trend on Ethereum, and I minted 8 of the 4 digits before they sold out on Ethereum.
Oh, wow.
And that, I mean, I flipped each of them a little bit too early, but I still made a decent profit on it. But then I saw ADA handle coming out, and they even went down to 2 digits, and nobody was picking up on this. Like nobody was minting digits. And I'm like, guys, I tweeted this out like 4 or 5 times before they even came close to 50% sold out. I'm like, you guys are missing out on a huge opportunity. So I minted 3 2 digits. I minted like 23 3 digits and a bunch of 4 digits on Cardano, until eventually I was just like, I gave a list. I tweeted a list of remaining ones. I'm here. If you don't do this in the next like 2 or 3 days, I'm gonna get the rest of them.
Oh my God.
And they sold out after that. So I have a nice bag of the digits. The hell actually I bought off of secondary because it was just too cool for the demon mint not to integrate.
Damn.
I like that. It's good shit.
See, okay. Pay attention, do your research.
Yeah, just keep out for those angry threats. As we know, he's pushing to the limits. All right. I have a question. Who is Pranksky? Pranksky. Pranksy. Do you know who they are? Have they revealed anything to you?
Pranksy is a huge collector on Ethereum.
Probably like one of the biggest, maybe? Is that the kind of going knowledge right now?
Probably top 10, 5, 10 in the space of collectors on Ethereum. And one of my team members on ABHS knows him through a mutual.
Oh shit.
And he became one of our honorary angels. Yeah. All
right, cool. All right, that's actually better than I thought. I kind of asked that as a throwaway question, and you're like, yeah, actually, we do know he is, so shut the fuck up. Thank you. Appreciate that a lot. All right, okay, good. What tell me about these honorary relationships though. I mean, I know they're honorary. I saw Mike with the sweater. How the heck did that even come to be? Is that an external IRL connection that you were able to leverage and kind of get going? Like that kind of, I don't know, exposure looks good for long-term stuff. How did that come to play? And like, how do you see the value of those, like, honorary
Yeah,
relationships?
so we have honorary angels, one being Mike Tyson, one being or two being Joel and Benji Madden of Good Charlotte, one being Lexi Wood, who's an Instagram influencer. Then we have Pranksy and Dingling, who are two big collectors on Ethereum, and then we have Charles Hoskinson.
Yeah,
Um,
no big deal.
Mike Tyson, he actually happens to be our he went to high school with my dad in upstate New York, way back when, and they kind of lost connection after a while. And then one time, my dad was walking through Las Vegas, and Mike Tyson was there too. And my dad's name is Mike too, so Mike Tyson recognized my dad. I was like, Mike, we haven't seen each other in so long. So they reconnected, and we were chatting about something that we are working on in the Web2 world, with one of the various businesses that I've been involved in. And I saw that he was involved with crypto and NFTs, and he was doing a drop on Ethereum, and he came to my parents' house in Connecticut one time, and there I sat down with him, and like, hey, I see you're involved with crypto. I'm dropping this project. Would you want to be an honorary angel? And then so he said yes to that. We made it and did it. And then a second time he was in New York City, uh, where I live, and he invited us over to his hotel room, and that was where I got the picture of him holding the merch.
That is friggin' sick. All I want to do is ask like dumb questions. Like, I'm so sorry. I just want to be like, was a tiger there? Like, okay, I'll stop. That's really cool though. That is really
So
cool.
stupid.
I'm sorry. What? Like, I'm sorry. Okay. That's actually really, really cool. Um, can we talk about the rebrand and like
Yeah.
Brian and I were talking about this a little bit as like I mean we read it, like some of but we were thinking maybe you could tell us in your own words why it's happening. I have my own theories about what we might think. Like we were kind of going back and forth about like, you know, if you're partnering with like Web2 companies or you want to do things and then your name is like Angel Baby Hit Squad, is that like literally we're like, that's not comfortable with our brand? Like, was it as simple as that? Like, is there more to it? Like, what can you tell us about like the rebrand, why,
Yeah.
and how it came to be?
There are many reasons for the rebrand. I was having some higher level discussions with some Web2 serious businesses that I wanted to partner with, and their reservations were initially that they were babies, and second that they were a hit squad, and they have a reputation to uphold. And that was, I mean, so there's a bunch of different reasons why it culminated into the full rebrand. That was one of them. Second is that we bootstrapped this entire project way back when there weren't finances, and I was grinding to find like an artist and a developer and community managers, and I was just throwing it together because I had this grand vision of this cross-chain project, and I wanted to get it out there. And now that we have the funding and the capability, why I want to create something that I'm extremely proud of, and I know that part of that is upgrading the artwork, and part of that is coming up with a better name. So I hired a Silicon Valley brand consultant who's come up with an awesome logo. I gave him the name, and I gave him like the idea of where it wanted to go. I hired the artist who is an award-winning artist who worked on major motion pictures. So they're not going to be big. They're not going to be a hit squad. It's going to be adult warriors, and they're going to be regal, and some attributes are going to be changed to be more cohesive within a broader collection. And this allows me to branch into these Web2 partnerships and bring us to a whole new level that we weren't able to do as Hit Squad. And we still have Demon Hit Squad, which can tap into the darker side of the world. So we could do the tattoo shops, and we could do alcohol brands as Demon Hit Squad,
Oh
but then we
shit.
could do the clothing and whatever else
Didn't even think of
with
that.
Angel Hit Squad, the good side with the Angels and the dark side with the Demon Hit Squad.
That's
So it was bringing us into this elevated mindset where we're elevating into a social club. We're not just this utility NFT anymore, and that's what the purpose of the rebrand is. And I mean, it just phases us away from ABHS. We've been a long mint. We've been around a long time, and people have this association of, oh, it's not sold out yet, or it's not whatever, it's not X, Y, or Z. And with the rebrand, it allows us to start fresh.
That's great. It's like a dirty comedian going clean so he could do the big shows at corporate events and shit. I love it.
Right, exactly. But becoming more of this social club, Ned club,
Yeah.
Soho House vibes, and I have the connections to do so. Like even minting an Ultimate Angel right now, you get lifetime access to an invite-only club in Los Angeles.
Oh shit.
With +1. So I have the connections to do so. It's just hard to do that with Baby Hit Squad.
Yes, that's great. So I guess with the rebrand, I mean, I'm assuming is it a 1-to-1 burn?
It's actually not even a burn. We are implementing our Blessed token in Q1. One of the CEO of Wi-Fi is designing our tokenomics. We fully legally vetted, so I'm really excited for that. But you'll spend X amount of Blessed token to upgrade the metadata on your Angel.
Okay.
And that'll happen within the same collection. It'll just add a new attribute. Is this upgraded or not? And within the metadata, you'll have the old Angel too. So that's not gone. You'll own both IPs.
Damn.
And actually, the upgraded one is coming as 2 different versions: PFP and full body.
Yes. I like
body.
that.
That's a concern that I have now, is that when people make it as their PFP, it's so small that people don't like recognize it. But,
Right.
And the way that I rock it, you see it zoomed in on my Twitter, and I like that view. So we're gonna initially present it as that, but you also have in the metadata the full body.
Nice.
Cool.
Damn, you're thinking of fucking everything. Yeah, hey, you build it and you put your team around you too, right? That seems what you're doing. It's fucking smart.
I mean, everything that we've built out with this project, it's or any change that we've come up with this project, is listening to community advice and then kind of going into the think tank with my team and saying, how do we address this? And is there a way forward that fixes this community sentiment? Some people had issues with the art, as we did the art upgrade. The quantity, 11,111, we have the cross-chain war with the deflationary mechanic of both collections, and now the community, based on the traction of either collection, decides how big the collection size should be. It's their decision now.
What's the new name of the new what why are you laughing? Why didn't
you're
you
always just trying to like fish for
I know you saw it and you're like, I'm not asking that. Like, fuck that. We gotta ask him. He can say yes or no. What's the new name?
The new name is Club of the Cherubim.
Oh, sick. Cherubims mean angels.
Yeah.
Screw you, Ryan. There's your fucking alpha.
There you go.
I like that name. That's good. And I think people are going to be Googling cherubims a lot. That's sick. That makes sense. It's actually still in brand. And
it leans into that club. Club of the Cherubim. And what's cool is there's a little fun thing about the logo, because of the initials COTC. The O of the COTC is a halo and the T is a cross.
Oh my god.
Oh shit. Damn, man. You just hit all the marks, eh?
You're not messing around.
No, not at all.
Blasphemy me. Oh man, our podcast is terrible, man. Like we are just like, we do not care. Okay.
It's like sitting on a couch or sitting at a bar just talking. That's what that's what I go for. That's the way I look at it.
Okay, that's cool. So there's a lot here, and I'm kind of pissed because there's so much that I'm trying to think about the things that I think are the most important. What's something that you look at and you're like, you've definitely thought about a lot. You've made a lot of connections. You're leveraging this out to be something long term. You mentioned tattoo shops and liquor companies. You got the good, the bad. You can hit cross market. I can see where it's coming from, but there's got to be something where you're just like, fuck, man, like this was like so blatant and I fucked up and like it didn't work and like we changed it, we addressed it, but like now it's like blatantly obvious. Is there something that like kind of like the thorn in your back or whatever the expression is that you're just like, I did not execute this well as I would have expected myself to, and whether it's fixed or not, what's that one thing that kind of pisses you off?
It's all part of the growing process. Like obviously I wish I took more time in the beginning to refine everything, and there were some expenses in the beginning of like marketing and events that I could have cut down on just to extend my runway now. Like I feel like I've done a pretty good job of it, but I could have extended it another month, or a few weeks even, and that I think would have been a better allocation of capital.
Gotcha.
But it's all, I don't think I would complain about anything. I think that maybe I would temper my upset, like the amount I get upset at people.
You rage tweet sometimes.
Just on the timeline. I like sometimes when you get so much FUD in a day, you can only take so much, and then I'm like, all right, blocking like 20-30 people. But yeah, I think that I've done it well, and I'm proud about it. I feel like my family knows how much effort, my girlfriend knows how much time and effort and love I put into this project. So I can't say that I'm not proud of anything. It's all getting to where I want it to be.
Yeah, and it's the learning process. It's just like what you kind of mentioned there. There's no way you couldn't have like you see it now, but like you're building this thing, and like what do you expect from someone that's building? Nothing's gonna be perfect, right? So okay, cool. That makes sense. What did you go to CNFT Con?
I did. I threw the CNFT Con after party too with
I was gonna bring that up and say that was a dope party. We were there in attendance. It was fun.
Yeah, that was a great party. So it was my project with Clay Nation, with Go Tribe and Digital Low Lives, and we just decided to come together and give some love to the community that gave love to us over the past year. So we had a bunch of eight different DJs perform through the night. We had dancers. We had open bar for a few hours. It was a great event.
You know, it was my only concern with, and this doesn't even have to do with.
Why don't you do a compliment sandwich?
No, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna throw in a critique. The washrooms. How many washrooms did that venue have? Because there was that one in the back with like two. I was like, man, for such a big venue, I'm like, there's a washroom situation here. Obviously, that's not your fault. All right, you didn't build a building. No, not at all. But that was my only critique.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it went over really well. I wish I could have put a porta potty somewhere
in the middle,
right in the middle. Right, dancers gonna slide it out of the way.
But yeah, we had like 1,100 people go in. We had a few hundred people that couldn't even get in because of capacity, which is wild. I was almost concerned that we wouldn't have like 100 people show up, but to have 1,100 was great.
I tell you, it was great getting out of the Uber and just walking up the steps, and it's like huge lineup over this way, and I'm like, here's my wristband, just walking right in. I was like,
it was great.
It felt great,
bro. I'm telling you right now, one of the best parties I've been to. It was so good, and we got a lot of free drinks because we just cut the line completely. And
Devon is not lying. Everyone's lined up in the right side.
I kept walking to the front and be like, all right, add on an extra beer to that order.
Yeah, it was ridiculous, and like, because like I don't feel bad about it, because especially the first bar at the front, the lineup like snaked through sideways, like in front of the washroom, and then but like when you got into the little bar area around the corner, there were like 2 or 3 bartenders set up, but everyone was just lined up going to the first one. So I looked around the corner and I'm like, there's 2 bartenders over there not doing shit. This doesn't make any sense. Right. So I just walked over and I was just like, 3 cervezas, please. They were like, sure. Like, it was a great party though. It was
fun. It was really fun. I think we shut it down. I think we were there till like
we were there to the very to pretty much the very end. Yeah, it was great.
Awesome. I love that.
Did you see us?
Yeah, I'm sure I did.
That's great. I
So
love
stupid.
All right. Okay, let's get back to
How was CNFT Con for you? I mean, it was probably. I mean, we saw you walking around. We didn't really want to bother you or whatever. It must have been pretty overwhelming just talking to everybody there.
Yeah, off the bat, it didn't go too well just because I shipped all my merch and stuff like that from New York, and it got lost in the mail.
Oh.
So it never showed up to CNFT Con.
never
And
showed up.
yeah, I was just sitting there with like a painting and an inflatable couch that I had delivered there. That anyone could hang out with me. So I mean, it went as well as it could have considering the circumstances. But and then I got an email a week after CNFTCon ended that it just arrived. So then I had to pay for it to get shipped back.
Nice.
So that was annoying. Other than that, it was great. I lost my voice like day one, and I was speaking on like 6 different panels. So I was whispering into the microphone on the panels, having the conversation with like 1,000 different people throughout the weekend. But I just love the idea of the chance to get together with everyone. I frequent a lot of NFT conferences and crypto conferences that are centered mostly around Ethereum, and Cardano doesn't have these live events, and that's a big pillar of my project, is trying to make Cardano cool and having these live events and having in real life utility that you could get off the computer and experience. So the fact that we were able to do that with CNFTCon was awesome.
No, I agree. It was, we've talked about, like, we did a full recap episode, like 2 of them really, but it was a really great experience to be there, and you felt like this kind of energy. Okay, let's pull it back here. I got a couple of other things to fire through. Well, actually, before we even go that direction, do you feel like you're seeing more activity? Do you feel like you're seeing more people rolling into Cardano? Because I feel like I have in the past, I don't know, 3 months or whatever. I just feel like Cardano's been growing. Have you seen that? Do you, like, what do you feel when it comes to
Yeah,
that?
I feel like when people repeat a joke enough, eventually it's not funny anymore, and start people.
Yeah.
Like the joke was always Cardano, but they heard it 10,000 times. Oh, maybe it's not a joke. Maybe it's
Well
something
said.
maybe it's something that we should check out. I'm proud about ABHS. We've onboarded over 300 people to Cardano through the
Nice.
project. So I think that it's slow integrations project. Every project's going to onboard 1 or 2 people. Obviously, ABHS was more because it had the exclusive purpose of onboarding people. But I think with like bigger influencers coming in, Wab and Farmer Nash, it makes it a lot more serious in these collectors' minds. Like ETH was boring for a bit. Why not explore Cardano? Why not explore Solana? Solana, the top 2 projects are leaving
Yeah.
Solana, so let's explore a different chain. Cardano seems to be the next obvious option. So I do think that there has been a recent trend of people coming into the space.
Yeah, just seeing all the tweets that are just like, new, what do I buy? You know, I got 1,080. What do I ape into? Like, I'm just seeing all that shit.
Yeah, I mean, you see a lot of that stuff. I guess I have I've seen Farmer Nash pop up a lot lately. I haven't looked into who they are. Who exactly are they?
So he really established himself as a gaming NFT collector,
Okay.
big time on like Axie and all that other stuff that was happening on Ethereum, and
Yeah.
he solidified it through just like pragmatic breakdowns of what each game was and why he was playing it, and X, Y, and Z, and he really established himself within the Ethereum ecosystem. And then he's been working on a project for a few years now, and he decided to launch it on Cardano.
Nice.
Nice.
It's funny actually. He's using my developer from ABHS and DHS, who's like a wizard. I gave him a recommendation to use it, and I met him a few times in person. He's a very nice guy.
Good shit.
Oh, is that Goombles? Is that what he's?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I've seen that pop up. Okay, now it's all coming together. Okay, makes sense now.
Okay. What can you tell us about some of the other things that you're like, if you look on your Twitter, like you're co-founding, there's like Plutus, like there's a bunch of other things you're working on. Some of them are not here yet. Like, what can you tell us about some of the other things you're working on?
Yeah. So just within ABHS and DHS,
Yeah.
we're working on something called our utility token Bless. So that's going to come in Q1. There's like 8 different ways to earn Bless through different interactions. So that I'm really excited to come out. There's a lot of integrations that we're building out initially to fund the art upgrade, but we're also building something called Genesis, which is a Hit Squad ecosystem product. So that's a minting service that you could pay with any cryptocurrency and get a Cardano NFT on the mint. So
Okay.
if a project that has that goal of onboarding, you could release a Cardano NFT project and target Ethereum people, and you could target Solana people, or you could target people who are Bitcoin maxis. As long as they have a Cardano wallet, they get the Cardano NFTs. So we're building that out, and that's an integration which funds our treasury. As people use it, a small percentage goes to extend our runway and just keep
Nice.
building that out as a project. So that's something that's cool. And then to go into what's in my bio, Plutus Art is
Yeah.
a marketplace that myself, Stale, and Chatty are coming out with. So Stale is like a OG Cardano developer. If you don't know who he was the lead dev of CNFT.io.
Yeah.
He left that because of I guess managerial problems. He didn't want to continue working there, and he's like an incredible developer. So what Plutus Art is it's a fully decentralized marketplace where Chatty's an artist. We're respecting artists. We're respecting projects. It's going to be a lot more gamified. So you could track wallets. You could see the top 10 collectors. You could see the top volume of artists. You could get rewards. You could, if you collect 10 NFTs this month, then you get entered into win a Claynation and fun.
Nice.
That's cool.
Cool integrations like that, and a lot of benefits, extra benefits if you're outside of the US. And that's all I could say about that.
Perfect. We're in Canada. Let us know. We're
Yes.
good. Yeah, I saw that. Is there like going to be a Russian version? Like, I don't know, random question, but like,
Russian version?
I
don't know.
Yeah, so we're gonna be able to, I mean, it's a small integration, but this is something that Chatty was very adamant about, is that right now every marketplace only services US people. So we're gonna have the translation to every language available within a few days of launch. So you could switch it to Russian. It'll be Russian.
Cool.
Indian,
that's awesome. That's what I was wondering. I feel like there's definitely, because who did we have on a couple of weeks ago, but German, right? And like, I was just thinking about the markets everywhere else, and I was like, I feel like there's something else happening here with this. So that's like,
Chimp-X,
yes,
Moonbear.
Yeah, Moonbear. Yeah,
actually that brings me up. Do you know anything about Remark protocol?
I don't.
So, okay, we've been dabbling kind of over there. It's on, what is it, Polkadot, right?
Yeah.
Mark NFTs on Polkadot. But it basically, so the reason we're a Web3 podcast, our home is Cardano, but we kind of dabble in everything because we don't want to like just stick to Cardano. But with Remark, they're like liquid NFTs. So it's like if you had Angel Baby, you could always update the NFT by sending it resources. And only the creator can send a new resource, and the user has the option to update it or not update it. So it's like it's like Lego. I'm just kind of fumbling on my words here, but it's like liquid NFT. So it's always, you can always change it.
That's super cool.
And like, and the resource you would send. So I mean, and I think we're just mentioning it, considering kind of how you think about things. You know what I mean? Like, people are like, cross-chain can only happen with this, and it's like, there's other ways to do things, but I don't know, we can talk offline about that.
That's super cool. That's something that I mean, it's a little bit different than what you're saying, but it's something that with DHS, with Demon Hit Squad, that I wanted to keep it interesting and fun and dynamic. So I'm calling them dynamic NFTs. I mean, I guess it's close to liquid NFTs.
Yeah.
Same thing. I'll make an announcement and I'll say, if you're holding this skin to celebrate winter, 15 of those skins that aren't listed will get updated to an ice skin. or like a snow skin, and keeping it dynamic. So if they don't want that change to happen, all they have to do is list it at like a crazy high price. So they don't lose it. They just have to list it, and that makes it ineligible.
Right.
Nice.
And if
Cool.
they want it to qualify, then they just keep it unlisted, and in their wallet, and their NFT might change. I'm changing the eye color of some NFTs just to see if people realize it.
That's so okay. I guess the only difference with this protocol and like an NFT on Cardano would be the policy closing.
It's the same thing it's the same thing as an open policy or a closed policy, and that's the beauty of this 66-year thing, that we have the 66 years to mess with people.
Okay, that makes comes full circle.
Well, actually, we were experimenting with the new CIP. I forget it's 25 or 68 on Cardano that pretty much allows you to operate as an ERC 721 on Cardano. I mean, we're getting in the weeds.
No, it's all good. Go ahead. We're good with it.
But the one that Alessandro created, and he's basically like recognizing that there's a severe limitation with these locked policies and unlocked policies. So we were going to do it with the new metadata standard for daemons, but then we realized that people couldn't mint it unless it was a fresh wallet.
Okay.
It's super inconvenient for the user to have to send their whitelist tokens and the right amount of ADA to a new wallet. So we're like, fuck it, we're not going to do that. But we're working with somebody who's built out the portal to the wormhole, not wormhole, from one CIP to the next seamlessly. So we intend to do that in the next year, once the tech is fully fleshed out and built out, to port over daemons to the new CIP so that we can operate them as a ERC 721.
I love that, because that's so forward thinking. And
exactly, nobody's thinking about it besides Space Buds right now.
Yeah,
that's going to give you longevity so that you can continue doing what you need to do. Okay, sweet. That makes sense. Holy shit. All right. Okay, we talked about Plutus. What is Uniscroll?
Uniscroll is sick. Everything I'm doing is sick, but Uniscroll is a background.
Yeah.
You are you guys, and you have your podcast, and you want a way to sustain yourself without having to do an NFT drop and without having to rely on royalties. What's the next way to do that?
Please tell us, and then tell us what to do exactly offline, and we will do it.
Stake pool is the next way to do it, to get consistent revenue without having to do an NFT drop or rely on royalties. But the problem with the stake pool is you need 3 million ADA delegated for your stake pool to be profitable, which is almost impossible for a small NFT project or a small creator or a small podcast to do. We have the technology. We built out the technology to basically put multiple creators or multiple NFT projects under the same umbrella, and you can delegate on our front end. I want 1,000 ADA going to your guys' podcast. I want 1,000 ADA going to Demon Hit Squad. I want 10,000 ADA going to Goat Tribe, and then I want to keep 3,000 ADA for myself. You're omitting your rewards to go to these creators, and the creators then choose how to reward their users. So this extends into Patreon. This extends into YouTube exclusive. It extends into anything where there's exclusive content that somebody would pay every month for. It could be a Netflix pool, and you delegate 1,000 ADA, and you don't have to pay your $10 every month. You get your exclusive content. And it's cool because it doesn't become a multi-pool organization. It supports pool operators too, because they could become a partner pool. They are still operating it on their own node. They're just within our requirements to be a partner pool.
Okay.
It helps everybody.
So they still have like autonomy over their pool, but like the threshold is met by being associated with.
As long as they're within our requirements, then they come under our umbrella too.
Got it. Okay. Oh, cool. Okay.
Damn.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm full transparency, did a bunch of clicking around, and I was like, I don't know what this is. Yeah.
Right. We're like within a few weeks of releasing the MVP. So it's very broad for now, but
Okay.
we've been developing it for the past 5-6 months, and it's finally ready to launch soon. So it's going to be cool to see like the initial. Well, we did Goat Tribe's ISPO, but we're going to have more integrations in the future.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah, that sounds actually really, really exciting and 100% needed. And it's great, like when you can use the example as the people that you're talking to. Like, you're like, how do I explain this? You guys, like, utility necessary? Is this necessary? Yes, it totally is.
Right. Now you
Hello.
don't need 3 million ADA. Somebody listening to your podcast is like, these guys are awesome.
Yeah.
I want to support them. They could go on, delegate to any of the partner pools. It doesn't matter. We also have the tech that splits the rewards across all pools. So if one pool gets the rewards and one pool doesn't, that reward gets split between all the partner pools that we're under. So not only is it split between projects, but it's split between pools. So it's equally distributed. So somebody could delegate to any of the pools within our network and say, I want to support these guys' podcast, and Devon and Ryan, and you guys would get your payment every 5 days.
Oh, cool. Nice. Yeah, Epic makes sense. There's got to be some sort of, I guess, threshold at a minimum. Do you have a range? Like, what does that look like though? Who is this?
So it's up to the specific creator. So you guys, if somebody could delegate 10 ADA to you, but they wouldn't get any rewards,
Right.
But you could say, if you delegate that, if you delegate 1,000 ADA, you'll get one exclusive video every month.
Yeah.
If you delegate 10,000 ADA, you'll get some merch and an exclusive video every month. So it's up to each specific creator how they choose to reward their delegators.
Okay. Easily, Ryan. Basically, what we got to do for this is, all the stuff we cut out, because Ryan and I will meet at the beginning and stay at the end, and we'll just like talk about life. We just leave that in, exclusive insight into Ryan's life. Perfect. With his kids. And that's what you're getting. That's what you're getting for 2008.
Behind the scenes and bloopers.
Yeah. I think the whole podcast is a friggin' blooper.
It more or less is.
Yeah.
We don't really cut anything out. So.
Yeah, we really don't, to be honest. Okay, that's cool. I actually really like that idea. That's something that to watch. I feel like let's make a note to like come back to this. Like, we want to, when this is launched and whatnot, we'll have to hear you talk about it if you're doing like a press junket or whatever.
We'll get you guys as one of the creators on the platform.
Sweet. That sounds really cool. Okay. I feel like I've read like so many different things, and now I'm just like, you know what? We've talked about a lot of different shit. Is there anything you want to kind of kick out there? What do you feel is the most important thing that you want your community? I also kind of feel like you have like there's like people that are fettuccine people. There's like a fettuccine community, and then there's the Angel Baby Hit Squad community. Like, there's like both.
But it's like three, because then you got the demon hit, you got the Cardano,
that too.
like
lots of what's the most important thing that you kind of want to communicate to your communities? I feel like I know what it is. I feel like you're gonna say we don't fuck around. I mean, like, we don't fuck around.
Yeah, we don't fuck around. I'm not slowing down. I'm going to continue building out everything that I think will be beneficial to my community. I think my community is very happy holding. I mean, even though we're slow mint, a year in, only 1%, less than 1% are listed on secondary of angels, which is like a stupid low number. I did a joke tweet recently, like, spend $20,000 on angels on secondary and you'll bring the floor to 7.7 ETH, which is insane. You get one big collector. But everything that I've done in the Web2 world and Web3 world has established a network that I can tap into over this next year. And what I've focused on previously was just selling out the collection, and now that we're at the tail end of it, I can extend into my wheelhouse, which is business development and proper growth in the right way, which is lining into this rebrand that we're doing with ABHS. So just stay along for the ride if you are a collector. If not, hop in, get an angel, get a demon. I promise it'll be fun. It'll be worth it. And we do things differently. I came into the space as a collector, and I knew when I created a project, I wanted it to be worth something. So initially just onboarding people, but I knew I wanted to be interesting in a way that I would genuinely want to be a collector of the project. So we have the cross chain war. It's cool with Blessed token coming. So you earn it by staking, but the staking amounts change based on who's winning the war and how many are delegated. And even though the demons have a smaller slice of the pie, there's so much less of a quantity of demons that they're actually going to have a higher distribution of the utility token in the beginning. So it'll all play against each other. We're creating a floor buying incentive. So when you buy a floor angel or buy a floor demon, you get a distribution of the utility token, but every first of the month, it starts at a higher amount. So it's going to be a race to see who could buy the floor one in the beginning, and it declines
that's
over time.
great.
There's all these different integrations that we're building out, and I wouldn't want to miss out if I were a collector.
This Web3 world never ceases to amaze me with the models of how of incentive building, and then not just for the sake of incentive building, but incentive building like to support a project, to kick back to you. Like, it's crazy. That's a great idea.
As I'm building out the project, because of the cross chain war, there's consistently, it's a very respectful amount of burns to make the deflationary mechanic of both collections. It's 25% of royalties. So over the past month, there's been 5 angels burned and 1 demon burned. So it's very slow, but as we grow the project and as we develop and we build out these integrations, eventually there's going to become the point where supply is less than demand. And at that point, that's when the community decided where the quantity of each project should be. And that'll be the real interesting point of the game, and where the game theory really plays out in terms of like the utility token, and people are calculating whitelist tokens right now. So it's such a fun game to play once you learn it.
And I'm really looking forward to see the tweet when that happens. Thread. I told you, motherfuckers, this was gonna happen. You know?
How many times did I tell you over the past 2 years?
You're like, yo, you guys slept on this. it's over.
I got my eye on a floor one right now.
I know. I can tell Ryan's in sniper mode.
Yeah.
When we have episodes where Ryan's like really digging it, towards the end, he just like trails off. He's like writing notes and stuff. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, yeah, just bought it. All right, see ya.
It is really funny. A lot of times I spend so much time like talking with my team and with partners and things that I'm trying to build out that sometimes I let like Twitter spaces and YouTube interviews go by the wayside. But it is really funny every time I hop on a Twitter space, I'll see like 25 new mints that hour, or I'll see a bunch of secondary action and things like that, because I think people could just hear how much I care about it, hear the passion of what I'm creating, and I truly believe in it. And it's the same thing with what I've created in the Web 2 world. It's my baby, and I'm going to make sure it succeeds. It's my angel baby.
There you go. And you know what? This is why I love doing this podcast, because it's like you learn new things. But yeah, you're totally right. Like, you're just so confident, and like you said, it's your baby. It's like, it makes me like, fuck, I should just sweep the floor if I can. But it pays off, buddy.
This is sick. Okay, so we're both distracted. Stop that. Stop scrolling.
All right.
All right, yo, listen, Fettuccine. I had another pasta question, but I lost it in the notes. So you're lucky. You get off.
You were gonna ask what his favorite pasta, or like, what's his favorite?
It's so infrequent that I eat fettuccine. It's like maybe once a year. It's not my favorite pasta at all. I like a pappardelle.
Okay, I'm a penne guy. Basic shit.
Yeah,
give me some basic penne.
Never do I see a menu with fettuccine on it. I'm like, I want that.
No,
it almost feels like cannibalism. So
that's awesome.
That is great.
I don't know. I think that's what we got. Ryan, if you have any other questions,
I had a dumb question lined up, but then you kind of took the.
Sorry. I figured I should kind of lay off.
We always have one stupid comment or question by the end.
Yeah, like what's
your go-to movie?
I actually, Goodfellas. I've probably seen the most amount of times. It's like
nice.
Such a.
Actually, that's what was my question. Because you seem like you're so on the go and busy. What does Fettuccine do for like downtime?
Yeah.
Are you just like a lounge on the couch and watch Netflix? Or are you like, Oh, I go like skydiving for that's my downtime.
When I was in the Cardano Foundation, whatever it was in Switzerland, I took a trip like on a train, and I got off at a random stop with my girlfriend and CJ Lovelace, actually, who's like a big collector in Cardano.
Yeah.
Sick. Oh,
And I saw a pamphlet and it said paragliding, and I called up the number, and we got off at that stop and did paragliding off of a Swiss mountain, which is nuts. But I mean, when it's not, I mean, I'm actually I'm snowboarding this weekend just because it's freezing in New York.
Yeah.
But on a normal day, I like to go outside, walk. I
touch grass, as they say.
Yeah,
Touch
exactly.
grass.
I mean, people don't realize how valuable it is just to get fresh air.
Yep.
So that's what I like to do for sure in my free time. But I do like
really what I'm doing right after this.
I like that sprinkle of excitement. So I'll do random things like that too.
I like this guy. I like it.
He's in your wheelhouse.
I'm with it. I'm like, I get that. That's for sure. I'm going for a walk after this. If the weather was warm, motorcycle, yeah, we're good.
Listen, Fettuccine, I'd be talking to this guy and he's like, yeah, I'm about to get in a helicopter and go track moose for work. I'm like, what the fuck? And then the next time I'm talking to him, he's tracking snakes in the wilderness, and then he's like, he's off to wherever, Nova Scotia. I'm like, what are you doing with you? He's just all over the place.
Just doing this podcast with you, man. That's all that matters.
That's it.
Okay. Shit. Sorry. Off the rails. Listen, thank you so much for coming on the podcast, for real. I feel like there's so many other things I wanted to ask about, but like there's also things you talked about and just shared insights and how you think about things and how you've built this that I think are like the real value here. Thank you so much for hopping on the podcast and doing all this. Like the fact that you saw Cardano early and you're like, I'm gonna design my project to like pull people in automatically. That is actually pretty genius. And I didn't want to say that. I was like, do I say this? But I'm like, nah, I'll say it. No, it's pretty genius, man. It's awesome. Yeah, I don't know.
We'll have to do part two. We'll come back on and do a deep dive into just.
I was gonna say, if there's anything you ever need from non-fungible guys, you know where to find us, man.
Doors always open.
Yeah, thank you guys both for the invite. It was such a great conversation.
No, I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thanks
to
Showtime
Ryan.
Again.
Oh yeah, Showtime. Yeah, Showtime. What up, man? Thanks, boss. Okay.
That's it.
That's it.
Music started.
Yep, music started. How do we end this? What do we say?
NFG. We out.
We out. Okay, we're done. Fuck it. It's over. That's the extra content you get when you scroll.
That's paid for content.
Right? Yeah. Holy shit.